The meaning of the movie author Orpheus to read 5 minutes published 29.02. 2020 updated 29.02. 2020 A young girl's world crumbles after the death of her mother. A villainous stepfather does not give her life, and one of the quarrels ends with the death of her favorite little sister. Because of the guardian's false accusations, she, drugged with a sedative, is sent to a hospital for the mentally ill. Unable to cope with the nightmares of her life, she invents new worlds, where in the company of her friends wages war against the forces of evil. The meaning of the movie, Forbidden Reception, is the escape of the mind from the unbearable reality in the world of illusions or escapism. What is the movie, Forbidden Reception? The plot of the movie unfolds linearly, but the protagonist spends most of her time in fantasies. She plans to escape from a psychiatric hospital, but to do so she needs to get 5 things. 5 items, 5 episodes of dangerous forays into the enemy camp. Unreal battles with monsters and robots, explosions and beautiful dances. This is how Babydoll's sick imagination interprets reality. The movie abundantly contains vivid scenes, groovy music, shots with beautiful girls in sexy attire. Maybe that's why behind such vivid pictures many people did not see the deeper meaning or simply did not want to understand further. Even critics did not appreciate the work of Zack Snyder. So is there a deeper meaning in the story of a mentally ill girl, more than half invented by herself? The meaning of the movie, Forbidden Reception. The meaning of the movie, Forbidden Reception, is an escape from the nightmarish life. With the help of sick imagination. Escapism, or, simply put, escape from reality into the world of fantasy, is the main theme of the movie. The main character has no name, she is called Baby Doll or Doll. In her imagination, reality is refracted into several worlds, from which we can distinguish the world of brothels and the world of unrestrained fantasy, where there is a war with the forces of evil. Actually, the world of reality itself seems not too real, but rather very naive, theatrical. It contains fragments of the girl's memories, served under the source of her subjective perception. Therefore, it is not necessary to fully believe in the presented reality, either. The world of the brothel is how Baby Doll sees the inner world of the psychiatric hospital, but in a more appealing light. The dancers represent psychotherapy sessions. In Dr. Gorski's office, a metronome beats the rhythm, and in the brothel, she beats it herself with her cane. But in the world of fantasy, the imagination rages to the full, and fills the movie with unprecedented images and adventures. The girl is really struggling for her existence, because she has only a little time to live. The stepfather doesn't want Baby Doll to ever get out of the asylum. He is content to have all the property at his disposal and to blame the girl for the death of his youngest stepdaughter. He bribes one of the employees of the psychiatric hospital, and the latter forges the doctor's signature in the referral for a lobotomy. The lobotomy specialist will be able to arrive in a few days, and in that time Baby Doll must manage to get out. In the search for the necessary items for escape, the protagonist is helped by her friends, the inhabitants of the brothel world. Together they organize a squad that fights with enemies. Finding each item is a dangerous mission, one of which ends in the death of Rocket, Sweet Pea's sister. Sweet Pea is another ward of Dr. Gorski, a resident of the asylum. Finally, all the items are gathered, everything is ready for escape, but Baby Doll remains in the mental hospital and almost voluntarily goes in for a lobotomy. Why? The answer to that question in the movie is that this story was about a different heroine from the beginning. And, while Dolly is being operated on, Sweet Pea manages to escape from the hospital and take a bus to a new life. There is an interesting view that the Baby Doll is really just a figment of Sweet Pea's imagination. It's how she sees herself and her story from the outside. The other girls, however, also represent different roles of Sweetie Pea. They are her alter egos. The story of Baby Doll is Sweet Pea's own past, her dark history, in which one of the key moments is the death of her younger sister. In the imaginary world, she is alive, although she is constantly threatened. Gradually, the heroine's consciousness accepts the fact of her sister's death, and Rocket dies in one of the episodes. The guilt in the death of a loved one eats away at the girl's psyche, so in the fictional world Rocket is killed by a disgusting-looking cook. The theory is actually very interesting, and in favor of it you can find a lot of confirmations in the movie. Forbidden reception, in general, abounds with different images, and everyone can interpret them in their own way. Let's return to Baby Doll. Already after the operation, the fact of signature forgery is revealed. Dr. Gorski is generally against such extreme measures as lobotomy and calls the police. But it doesn't matter to Baby Doll, her battles and nightmares are over the moment the orbitoclast is struck. The doctor who performed the lobotomy was surprised by the girl's conscious and humble look. Her willingness to undergo the scary procedure not only shocks, but even frightens him. That's why he shares his observation with Dr. Gorski. They realize that they have just closed the door to the world of normal people for the young patient forever. The meaning of the ending of the movie, Forbidden Reception, the meaning of the ending is that leaving the world of reality can be a kind of escape for the human mind. When there is no strength to fight with their own demons in the world around them, the brain can create its own illusory world, but even there it is not always possible to find peace. Baby Doll decided to end her nightmares for good, and chose lobotomy over further battling her illness and overly heavy memories. Write your own meaning of the movie Forbidden Reception in the comments. We'll be looking forward to it. Admin.